IVM.
It's been another great week on IVM Podcast, and if you're not following us on social media, please do. We're at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc., etc. On our latest episodes of The Seen and the Unseen, Amit Verma is joined by author and columnist Vivek Kaul to decode how the government uses and misuses data for optics management. On Pulyabazi, Pranay and Saurav talked to author Snigdha Poonam about her new book, Dreamers. On Football Twaddle, we have Azim Banatwala as a guest with Saru, Baru and Kumar discussing the end of the UEFA Champions League. And on Who's Your Mommy, Veda talks about mothers and how they cope with their constant sleep deprivation. As I said, it's been a great week, and please try and listen to as many of these shows as you can. And now, on to your show.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Hello and welcome to another episode of TFG Indian Football Podcast, and something rare has happened today, Kevin. We have guests in the studio. It hardly ever happens. Usually whenever we are interviewing somebody, we're just calling them up on phone or connecting with Skype. Usually sometimes nobody is here in the studio.
Yeah, I was just about to come to that. You're talking about how many times are you present in the studio?
I don't know. It's rare. Yeah. But what is a little bit more rare is that we got two people who cannot be named. There's a very good reason why we cannot tell you their names. It's like from Game of Thrones, Faceless Men. A man has no name. So we're just going to refer to them as guest one and guest two. So guest one, why can't you tell your name to the audience?
So basically we are part of a movement, and when you're part of a movement we can't take names because the movement is not for one or two people. And it's not recognized by one or two people, it's recognized by everybody. So in that case, it's better that we don't take names because the movement represents everybody, not just us.
And which movement is that?
So this is the Indian National Football Team movement. It's called the Blue Pilgrims.
Yeah, so Blue Pilgrims is the collective of all Indian football fans who are traveling to games under one banner. And
exactly.
Today is a very special day for Blue Pilgrims, for Indian football, for everybody literally who cares about Indian football. It's that Sunil Chhetri is about to play his 100th game. Kevin, dude.
This is massive. This is massive, being right here, close to the action and feeling the energy. And right now, even as you speak, the Blue Pilgrims, I think we can call Mumbai already being painted blue. Mm-hmm. If not visually, at least we know that the energy is being felt all around. And it's all started by the man himself, Sunil Chhetri. This one video message he sends out and it just goes viral.
Yeah.
And at times you really feel the humility that this guy has, and you have to feel it for him, and the loyalty that he's shown towards the country, his 100% dedication, his talks even after scoring the hat-trick, he's so down to earth. And this just has so many of them. Even if you've got followers who've not known about Indian football, you listen to Sunil Chhetri once, you're always going to be a fan of his.
Yeah, that's exactly what we had, because we've had people messaging us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, asking us that how can we join you, when can we join you, what stand are you guys sitting at. And not only that, they've been people who are messaging saying that we are watching football for the first time. We are watching football in the stands for the first time, and we really like what you do, and we really enjoy the kind of atmosphere you all generate, and we want to be a part of you. So I mean that has really worked in our favor, Sunil Chhetri giving out that message.
Yeah, one of our guests is also from he's local. He's from around here, and I think as for club loyalties, I'm not sure if you guys are going to talk about it, but I'll just go ahead and say it. You're a Mumbai City fan, right? Yes. And you've been coming to the games when Sunil Chhetri was playing for Mumbai City. So just tell us about this feeling of coming and watching him play at Andheri Sports Complex. And even before the stadium was coming to use, he was already talking about it, like there's going to be a really good stadium coming up, it's going to be exciting. So how has it been for you watching him play for your club and then coming here and play for his country?
Okay, so for the first time when I saw Sunil Chhetri playing, I saw him at DY Patil. He was playing against Kerala Blasters. Yeah. So he was donning the Mumbai City FC jersey. And after that game, I directly saw him donning the national jersey against Puerto Rico. and as a memory, he gave me his jersey after the match. So he has already a good amount of space in my heart.
So it's like that, every single time, and it's rare for footballers. Every single time you just hear him talk, you just feel like you're going to learn something. He's going to drop some knowledge that's just not going to,
Okay, so during a national camp, like after the Puerto Rico game, there has been many national camp in Mumbai. So the training ground is usually open. The members of sports complex, they come in, they have the normal walk, the jogging, and the team trains in the ground. So there were a bunch of kids who visited the ground, and after the training session, Sunil Chhetri, they knew Sunil Chhetri, who Sunil Chhetri is. So they came, they saw Sunil Chhetri, and what Sunil Chhetri did next was something amazing. What he did, so he shook hand with few kids, and after that, what he told them is, when you shake hand with someone, you should look them into the eyes, and your hand should be firm while shaking the hand. That shows how great personality you are. So that is what he's like telling kids to do, like making them grow at a very early age.
Yeah, it's just we had him speak to us yesterday ahead of his 100th game, and he was talking about his journey, just starting off in Pakistan at a young age, going through different clubs, different phases in his career, but just the way he has evolved into this mature, legendary figure. It's just amazing, isn't it, Kevin?
Totally. He stands for Indian football. He stands for that young footballer. He stands for that. We won't even term him as aging. He is he doesn't growing.
Look that old, yeah.
No, he's growing into stature.
Aging like a wine.
He applies cream to his face. That's what he said in the press conference yesterday.
Wow, the secrets are out. But that's what we're talking about. Sunil Chhetri can be set an example. He sets an example for every generation that he's played in. Talking about 10 years back. Also, when he was in his budding stages, and look at him now. He's right there at the top,
exactly.
High performing every time he steps on the field, even if he's not at his best. You don't really feel that he's not giving his 100%.
I think like I saw Sunil Chhetri first when he was a really young kid. He was playing in a tournament in Calcutta. It was like a local college tournament, and it was, I think, Techno India. And they were playing a charity match versus the Football Players Association of India. So there was this. It was a 5-a-side match, and Baichung Bhutia is the founder of FPAI, and he had invited all these players who were upcoming and to the Indian national team, and they had formed a team and to play in the tournament. Back then also he when they were playing in the tournament, I mean, he was class. Like, he never took it lightly. He gave his best, and he played it like a competitive game. So that's some attribute of his which has always been there with him. So he never treats anything lightly, and he's always focused, and he's always, goes with the intention of winning wherever he goes. So that's something which, not just for football, but for everybody, around football, or, in every walk of life, should pick up from him. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been, 12-13 years since he's been playing for Indian national team, and still we can't find a replacement for him. Still it's him we depend on when it comes to scoring goals. Still it's just he who has to lead the team, even if somebody else is wearing the captain's armband. It's just amazing what he does.
The funny thing is he talks about it. He never says that I am the leader. He never accept. Yeah, he never accept it. He always says that it's always a team game. It's always people around you that make a team. It's not just you, and that's the that's the attribute of a true gentleman and a true leader. Yeah,
he's got that glue factor to him, which keeps the squad together, keeps everybody in line. I'm just actually worried about what happens after 2019 because then it's going to be a serious question when he's going to retire. And like yesterday I was talking about Manvir's father had played football against him, and he was like he was upset about like what the hell is happening. So it's what's today he's gonna play his 100th match. It's not gonna be easy. It's against Kenya, and to show some tribute to him, what have you guys planned?
So we're not going to leave out the exact details of what we've planned, but because we want to make it special for him, and he gets to know it on the ground, and everybody gets to see it on the ground. But there's something. I'll tell you what we are doing in a gist. So we are doing banners. Then we are doing some kind of a mini choreo kind of a thing in the stadium, and we have special chants for him. And we are getting extra drums and training people to, let's say in the evening we met up in the stadium at 4:00. I think. Sorry. I was late.
You guys were so late. You were not there at 4 o'clock.
I was late. I was late by 2 hours.
So few guys were there.
I was waiting and I was like, where the hell are these guys?
Yeah.
Ended up eating a pizza. I don't know.
So we came at 6, but we were there till around 8:39, and we practiced quite a few chants. And some of these chants are like really long and difficult to pick up. So what we are doing is we are printing it out on on papers and distributing it to people who we think can follow. And so that we create an atmosphere for the man who's really given something for Indian football.
Yeah, and a lot of new people will be coming because of that viral video.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really hard to get them to follow along.
Yeah, so that's the downside of it. I believe, personally, I believe in quality over quantity. But then again, it's so hard to get somebody to the stadium in India that at one point of time you really need to reach out to important people who can get people to come to the stadium, and that is the first step. Coming to the stadium is the first step. I mean, you can be a keyboard warrior all your life, but if you don't come to the stadium, you have no value addition to your team or to your country.
Okay, so most of the European fan clubs in India, they dream to be a part of the ultra group in Europe. And once they come to the stadium, they see us doing the same thing and even more in a better way, giving an Indian touch. I'm sure they'll join in and they'll support us.
Yeah,
I mean, we wouldn't call ourselves ultras, but we are a community. I mean, we don't have allegiances to any particular subculture in football, but we stand for 90 minutes of chanting, 90 minutes of passion, 90 minutes of vocal support for the team. And at the end of the day, what I tell everybody is that if you're in the stands with us, forget about the game. You have to make the players feel that we belong to them, and if we belong to them, they will perform at their best. You can go home and watch the game on highlights, but for your 90 minutes, you have to perform your job as the 12th man. So this is what I tell everybody, and hopefully some of them are listening, some of them are still watching the game, but with time that will change. Yeah.
So we were so busy doing all our rituals in the stands, and we couldn't watch Chhetri's first and second goal, and we were we couldn't watch a replay, no LED screen in the stadium. So we have to go back home and watch the whole match again.
That's a really nice way to bring people to the stadium. Come, you won't watch the game, but
Yeah. See, at the end of the day, football is about football fans, everything I understand, but when you form a group, the community is community and bonding through the 90 minutes of support which you generate is becomes the deciding factor for you to come back for the next game, not the quality of the game. If you look at most of these countries in Southeast Asia, even in Central Asia, you've been there, right? You've been to Kyrgyzstan, you've been to other places as well. But the quality of football over there is really poor, right? I mean, it's not worth watching. But it's the atmosphere in the stands which counts, and that I think is the most important reason why people keep coming back to the stadium. So, I mean, if we can generate something like that, even if our football might not be as the same standard as the EPL or the La Liga, whatever it may be, if we give people a reason to come back to the stadium, that should be that because of this group.
Yeah, but when you say that you guys will welcome European fan clubs, you don't mean that on the Blue Pilgrims banner there will be scars of Arsenal and Chelsea and Man City?
No. Right? So we maybe we are really not sure about that. So what we want the European fan clubs to do is you need to support your local team first. I'm sure if you support European football, but you don't live in Europe, so you have a local club over here which you should support. Right, so if you are a Liverpool fan living in Mumbai, you should first show your allegiance to Mumbai City FC, and from Mumbai City FC you come to Blue Pilgrims. So,
but not Mumbai FC. What happened, Kevin? India versus Kenya, though. It might be that it looks like it's being set up for a huge tribute to Sunil Chhetri, but the team he's facing is not going to make it easy for him.
Definitely, we saw what they did yesterday, and it's they're standing in between Sunil Chhetri performing and giving everybody a good time, and having just a bland time. But I think it just spices up things a little bit. When you have an opposition that is going to be testing you to your potential, I think it just makes it harder and it just makes it more interesting. And Kenya have already shown that they came back from a goal down, they got level just before halftime, and just 20 minutes before the full-time whistle, they got themselves a winner. And this is what you're expecting. When Sunil Chhetri is playing his 100th game, he's going to give his best, and the remaining 11 players or whoever's coming on, they're also going to be pumped up for this.
Yeah, but let's move away from Sunil Chhetri for a little bit. The way they were playing their physical football, and of course this is not the main Kenya team, but the guys who have come in are very eager to prove themselves, and especially more inexperienced players who know they can use a physical advantage will go for that physical game. Do we have that team that can stand with them? Other than
the
Pranay
setup
Haldar?
which Constantine put up in the first game against Chinese Taipei, we saw Pranay Haldar coming in with a lot of aggression, and yet having that composure to get in that physical advantage and not go over the limit. Players like him, players like even Rafiq was brought in the second half. I think these are the players that we would need to look forward to use a physical presence. Obviously, we've got defenders who are just the rock at the back. We're talking about Jinga, and we are talking about and Anas. They are the ones who are just anchored at the back. But you want those midfielders, you want those wingers to come in into play, because the midfield of Kenya is something that's going to be very fluid, and it's not just the strikers that we'll be dealing with. We'll be dealing with a whole 10 outfield players who are just coming with aggression, coming with physicality into this game.
Yeah, but just sort of gets me worried because we have Sandesh who can be physical, we got Pranay who can be physical, Suhashish Bose, I just get worried about him every time he gets into a physical situation. He loses his head, gets a card or gets injured, some shit he does. It just seems like it's a Bahrain beta version game, right? I mean, we're gonna have a physical game over there as well. If Chinese Taipei was Thailand beta, this is Bahrain beta. Is this going to go well? This is a question for all of you guys.
I mean, see, the general perception on social media is that Kenya is sending a weak team and we should beat them. But at the end of the day, you should realize that even if they send a weak team, they're going to be pretty strong.
Yeah.
So from a game perspective, I haven't really followed what Kenya was doing yesterday because I was busy with everything else. And but all I can say is it's not going to be easy. So, and everybody has to be on their toes, and all the players have to be focused and put out the 100% to see this through.
Yeah, it's a, and
I mean not just for India, but also for Sunil Chhetri, because he would like to remember his 100th game as a game which he won.
Yeah, so, and a little bit I'm a bit worried because this huge hype behind this game, right? Because we just beat them Chinese Taipei 5-0, and a lot of new guys will come in, and then they will see us probably struggling against a very physically strong team in Kenya. Now, those who follow Indian football know the struggle. Okay, it's not like we get to always experience win and always wallow in glory and all that stuff. Frustration, defeat. I'm not saying we're going to lose tonight, but it's part of our life. Okay, and it's part of the journey. When you have 6,000-7,000 new people who are coming in and watching it for the first time, and if India struggles, does that help, hurt, and how do you tell them that?
So that's where we come in, because in football there are always ups and downs. Okay, there's going to be a team which is going to win and is going to lose the next day, and it's never going to be like you'll never see a pattern unless you're like a European team like Real Madrid or something like that. But especially for developing nations. So that's where the Blue Pilgrims come in. It's giving you. The idea is to give you an overall experience, not just of the football. So, the atmosphere. It's like going to a stadium and not just watching a game and coming back. It's also feeling something. Being a part of the nation, being a part of the movement, being a part of the fan group, which gives you that intensity and gives you that, the love for just not the game, but also for the people who support the game. So that's more important, yeah. And that's where we come in. And I hope that, people don't judge Indian football based on just one game, even if we lose today. But I hope they, when they speak on social media, they talk about the entire experience. So that's what's more important here.
Dude, you're a Mumbai City fan, so you know what disappointment is like. What will you tell your friends? Yeah, I get it. But what will you tell your friends who are probably watching for the first time about this? How to process this? Because cricket fans, they're like, we always play in the World Cup. Kabaddi or hockey, whatever, we're still in the world stage. Football, we're just not up there, and that's a major bone of contention that comes from casual fans, that we don't do well. Like 100 country in the world, who cares about that? How do you tell them to process that?
Okay, first of all, the people who are coming for the first time will be mostly European fan clubs, followers of European clubs, and for them, supporting a team which wins every time is more important than supporting a team which loses. So for them, I can name them as glory hunters because they only go for clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid. They won't go for a club like Las Palmas, right?
Or Mumbai City.
You can say that in fourth season probably. So for them, as my friend said, it is important to have an overall experience, not only as the perspective of a match, but as an overall experience as a fan, because they go for these screenings to support the European club. Even if they lose to Barcelona, Real Madrid loses to Barcelona, what they do is throughout the game, they support the team with the heart. So that is what we want them to feel the same when they come to support Indian team as well. Feel it with your heart. Like even if your team loses, you have to back them.
So our other guest is an East Bengal fan, so he also knows what it's like to be disappointed and all that. But you guys are struggling to win the league for 15-16 years. So how does that affect the fan base, and how does that correlate with how India struggles at the international
scene?
See,
the thing is, every fan base can be divided into 4 parts. Okay. So I do a bit of research about fan culture, and we have the fanatics, and then we have the fans, and then we have the flaneurs, as you say, the people who come only because there's something attractive going on. I mean, they like football, but they don't like it enough. But maybe they're in the city and they come and join. Okay, and then you have the people who don't know about football at all. That's just a touristy thing to do. So I'll just come and, somebody tells me, okay, would you like to go on a football match? Because in Manchester United is the best thing to do. So they would go and watch Manchester United. So you divide fan bases into 4 parts. And I think it's important that to know that East Bengal has a very strong base when it comes to fanatics. Okay, I'm sure Mohun Bagan also has the same, but I didn't see the same happening this season. You know that, yeah. So... then again, we must realize both East Bengal and Mohun Bagan, the fan bases which we had are, more traditional. They are people who are swayed by performances. They really like their club. They really feel for their club. But the mentality is not strong enough to get them to the stadium, whether the team is winning or losing. So that's something which is taken for traditional fans. And slowly with time, that should change because, they're getting inspired by the ultras in Europe, ultras in Southeast Asia, ultras in Northern Africa, both Marinas Base Camp and East Bengal Ultras. So I think at this level, I think both the teams, have good leaders, have good people who are leading the movement too and taking them to a different level. You saw the Tifos, you've seen the choreos and you've seen the stuff like that. But then again, what I feel is that we are not active on social media. Both of us, East Bengal and Mohun Bagan, we need to be active on social media. We need to tell our people that, the young people, because tomorrow if the young people, what they only see is 80K, then they will support 80K, But we need to be active on social media and promote our propaganda. If we don't do that, then we lose out on tomorrow. So all the 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds still fill the stadiums in Calcutta. Will not be there in 20 years. So
yeah. So but there's a process of building a fan base. And it can happen through huge, expensive marketing, or it can happen.
It can't happen through expensive marketing. That's the funny thing.
ATK is the big example of that.
So that's the funny thing. Yeah. So when you give out free tickets, this is what I believe. When you give out free tickets, you are introducing something to somebody which is available easily. So that person believes that, okay, if I got a free ticket today, I can get a free ticket tomorrow. I can get a free ticket day after. I can get a free ticket next year. Okay. So when you give a free ticket for 1 year, you can afford it. When you give a free ticket for 2 years, you can afford it. When you can give a free ticket for 3 years, you can afford it. In the fourth season, can you afford it for 4 years? Can you afford it for 5 years? You can't. So free tickets are not sustainable. So you have to tell people to believe, you have to convince people in a different way. You give the first free ticket, you tell them that if you come to the stadium, okay, and you give it to the people who really matter. So you give it to a child, who's 16 years old or who's 15 years old. Okay, so he comes for the game, he gets a glimpse of what the atmosphere is like, and then you stop giving free tickets. So he goes back home and he tells his friends, he tells his mother, he tells his father that I want to go to the stadium, I want to see the ultras, I want to see Marina Space Camp. They make me feel excited. So that's when they start thinking about, where will I get money from? Okay, and they start working hard, they start finding a job, they ask their parents, and they find means to come to the stadium. So you have to instill that motivation for people to earn their own ticket. So that is what is missing in Indian football.
Yeah, well, thankfully today the match is already almost sold out. I think.
Really? Yeah, but a lot of it is also free tickets. So you see people.
Most of it is not.
Yeah, most of it is not. I mean, I heard some YouTubers picking up a bunch of tickets and distributing it for free or stuff like that.
Social media influencers.
Okay. So we will carry on the conversation on the other side. Time to pause for a short break.
Shunya one, shunya one, shunya one, shunya one.
$1 billion acquisition. Another copycat startup got formed.
No, the tech world in India is surely moving double the speed of this voiceover.
Tune in to Shunya One every Tuesday to catch us talking to the smartest people we know on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
All right, we're back. We're speaking to nameless, faceless, and hopeless members from Blue Pilgrims. One is an East Bengal fan, one is a Mumbai City fan. So you know what I mean when I say hopeless. But Blue Pilgrims had the journey started in a very hopeful way when India was playing in the Under-17 World Cup, and just getting this together for the first time and organizing this. How was the experience?
Initially, when we started out, it was quite unstructured in the sense that we didn't have much understanding of what to do and whom to reach out to and stuff like that. So in the beginning it was tough, but again, in the beginning, we didn't do anything massive. We just painted a few banners, which was mostly done by the West Block guys. And then, I came in from East Bengal, and some other guys came in from, Mohun Bagan, and then Mumbai City joined, and Pune FC joined, and, Super Merchants joined, and all these teams joined.
What happened to Kerala Blasters?
Kerala Blasters, see, the thing is that individually, as fans, they're there. But as a group, they are, they don't want to be a part of the national movement, but we are always open to it. We don't really, distinguish us, because at the end of the day, we are a national team. Okay, so we have members from Kerala Blasters. We have people working on the cricket division, who are, absolutely fantastic graphic designers. You see the logo that we've made, the jerseys that we made, the stickers that we printed, everything is done by a Kerala Blasters guy.
Oh.
Okay, so we have individual people who really feel for the country, and they put country beyond clubs. So but as a club, as a fan club, we can't really go and request people and fall on their feet. Please come and join us. Please come and join us. We can't do that. We told them many times. We told them, we called them. We try to discuss stuff with them. But it's their choice. If they don't want to join, they don't want to join. But we're always open. They're always welcome to come and join us.
Yeah. Early on in the first few games, there was a cultural change when it comes to stadium behavior in Delhi, especially singing and all that stuff. I heard some security person tried to tell you not to sing and Shanti se dekho and all that.
No, not just security people, even the crowd. The crowd. That's what I say when you say traditional fans, and it's not just a Delhi thing, man. It's there in Calcutta as well. You got to admit that.
Yeah, East Bengal Ultras got in trouble with other fans and all that.
And even Mohan Bagan. I mean, both the clubs. Thing is that these people, they really like. I mean, I'm not talking about Delhi, but I'm talking about Calcutta. These people really like to watch football, but they don't like to express in the stadium. They like to focus on the game. So that's when I say there's a difference between fans and fanatics. Fanatics like to express. Fans don't like to express, but they love the game. Okay, so and these are generally people who are older. Come from a different generation. They've always watched TV or they watch football in the stands. Just for the purpose of watching football. As fanatics, your purpose slowly shifts away from watching football to watching and supporting your team so that they can play good football, right? So this is there in Calcutta as well. It's there in Delhi as well. It was there in Goa as well. It's there everywhere. So Mumbai.
Yeah, and it happens the same when ATK fans come to watch the match in stadium in Mumbai. They ask us to keep.
They have fans.
Yeah, 200 paid fans.
Free jerseys. That was one guy who came over and
200 jerseys and tickets. Yeah, I know. So those are the guys. As my friend said, generally the older people. The fans, they get in a tussle with the fanatics, the Mumbai City FC supporters club, and they ask the kids to keep quiet, to sit down, and as a fan group we don't want to sit down and watch a match, like be numb throughout the game. We want to express ourselves. So it happens with us as well when ATK comes in.
The thing is, it's not about ATK or any particular club as such. I mean, I'm sure ATK, as he said, paid fans. I mean, they might be paid fans now, but they may not be paid fans tomorrow. They might really feel something for ATK tomorrow or day after, or whenever it may be. So it's not the right word to use, paid fans, but I'm apologize on his behalf. But
I'm sorry too.
But the thing is that it's important, even if you are paid or you're unpaid or whatever you do, as long as you have the mentality, or you can develop the mentality, or you can instill the mentality in yourself, that is more important.
And just talking about the fanaticism, the behavior sort of, it tests the limits of what you can do in and around the stadium.
It's creative. The thing is that the best thing about fanaticism is, when you look at European fanatics, you need to understand there's a clear distinction between hooliganism and ultras. Hooliganism is focused on fighting and not football, and ultras is focused on creativity, not football. I mean, the only common thing about them is not football, but one is for fights and one is for creativity. So
sometimes the line blurs.
Sometimes the line blurs. It depends. The blur of the line is also influenced by political factors or religious factors or socio-economic factors. Okay, so all those contribute to blurring the line. But when you look at the extremes, there are clear distinctions between two subcultures. So
you guys had a run-in with the police in the metro. Could you tell us that incident? What exactly went down?
So the thing is that a major part of this Blue Pilgrims movement is making people aware of our presence, and instilling that mentality that. So yesterday only, when we were chanting, there was this kid walking by and with his father, and day before as well, there was a couple of kids who work in the stadium. So they were walking by, and we were like, why don't you come and join us? Like they were like initially hesitant. But we were like, come, you can join us. You don't have to sing, you don't have to chant. You can stand with us and you can feel it. So that is important. We need to give them a window to feel first, and then they later develop. If you open some space for them to come in and experience something for the first time, it always sticks in your head, right? So that is very important, and that is what we were trying to do in the metro, or that is what we are trying to do in Delhi or wherever we go. See, we look at smoke bombs and stuff that we use. It's just a part of the atmosphere. I mean, we necessarily may not use it, but it's just a visual effect, which adds to the atmosphere. And we didn't get into any troubles with smoke bombs in Delhi because we never really used them.
Yeah.
But with the police, that's what I say. Indian football has many aspects which need to change, not just players, not just fans. It's also the institutions which surround this ecosystem, the cops. There is zero understanding between cops and football fans. If you look at East Bengal, if you look at Mohun Bagan, I mean, we are 100-year-old clubs, but we face issues with cops every single goddamn bloody game.
Yeah.
Every game. With drums, with banners, with, forget, we don't even get anything inflammable inside the stadium. With simple things like drums, banners, drumsticks, and it's annoying, right? It's saying that, we are trying to put in so much effort to support the team. We are trying to put in so much effort to change the outlook of football fans in this country. And then we have, and if we have to fight with the people who don't understand anything, and if they come and tell us that you can't do this, you can't do that, go here for permission, go there for permission, the club didn't tell us anything, then how do you expect us to get motivated every day? Right? So these are the things we need to change. And, as I say, that these changes will not come overnight.
Yes, but what happened in that particular incident?
So, yeah, I think somebody's already spoken about that. But basically, what was happening was that we had done the chants before.
Yeah.
Okay, the day before, and the cops had asked us to stop, and I was like, you can't ask us to stop chanting for India. I mean, that's your country as well. So the second day we did that again. So basically what I tried, I was a little bit foolish, so I tried to take a megaphone from the cop and try to use it to pull people outside the stadium. But that was the day before. The next day, we were, after the game, we had, I think, this was the second game we were playing. So whatever. So after the game, we were entering the metro station and we had all our flags and everything together, and all in high spirits. And we started chanting. So this cop stopped us, and basically what happened was he said that you can't chant. Then I said that, क्यों? Like why? And he was like, no, यहाँ पे chant नहीं कर सकते. बोला क्यों, ये देश नहीं है क्या? तो no, I said that okay, हम लोग देश के लिए chant कर रहे हैं. बोला देश के लिए यहाँ chant नहीं कर सकते. Then I said like, ये देश नहीं है क्या? Then he got agitated, and then he started pointing, like they had guns and stuff. So you know what he meant when he said that. So, and he started roughing us up and stuff like that. But we kept on chanting, And then one guy was recording videos. Okay, small kid guy. And so this is basically, they saw that that's probably an easy target to use as a bait. So they caught hold of him and they tried to drag him inside the police station. And that's when I got really angry, because I said that if you have to say anything, say it to me, because I was the one who was speaking to you. And then these guys were like, so what they did was they started pushing everybody away. And then they started hitting me and stuff like that. And I was like, whatever you do, I haven't touched you, you can't touch me. Okay, so the moment you touch me, that becomes personal, and then we can take it somewhere else, legally or something like that. So the best thing I can do as with cops is that I always speak in English, because that's when they realize that you're serious about what you're saying. So yeah,
sad reality of life.
Sad reality of India. So that's when they tried to take me inside and stuff like that. And I was like, listen, I have done nothing wrong. If you want to take me to lockup, you can take me to lockup. But if you touch me, there'll be a problem. So we started arguing and stuff like that, and other cops started coming in, because those were not really Delhi police. I think they were the Metro Police, or I don't know if that's a part of the same organization and stuff. So, and then they started saying that apologize. I said, apologize for what? They said like, apologize for creating commotion in the metro. So I was like, okay, if chanting for the country is creating commotion, then you find me. I mean, I don't have a problem. You do what you want to do, but you can't touch me because nobody's given you the authority to touch me because I haven't said anything bad about the country. I haven't said anything bad to you or personally to anybody. So and then I said that you let that guy go. Then he said that delete the video and stuff like that. You have to delete the video because you're not allowed to shoot inside the metro premises. So he deleted the video in front of them, but obviously like it's an iPhone, so you can recover your video again. So then they took me inside and they didn't know what to do. They said come to the police station. So I know I'm from Calcutta, so I know what happens when police take you inside the police station. So so what I did was like, whatever you do, you have to say it in front of me and in front of my group. So they had singled me out and my group was outside and I was there alone. So they singled me out and told me that, listen, whatever you have to do in front of us. I want to, whatever has to be resolved here. I'm not going anywhere from here. Okay, so, yeah. So then they were like, because I was so stubborn, they were like, okay, you have to pay a fine. We're like, how much fine? I like 500 rupees. I like, okay, come, let's go. So they took me to the metro station and they made me write down my address and my telephone number. I mean, who does that, man? Anybody. I mean, it doesn't even make a difference whether you put your address or anybody can put any address, anybody can put any number. I mean, they're so stupid, man. Whatever. So they made me write my address and my telephone number and everything. And then they were like, okay, abhi ruko, tumko fine bharna padega. So I was like, okay. They took 10 minutes to look for a machine to find me, or make me pay on. They took another 10 minutes to figure out what to write. They had to put a reason why they're finding me, right? So they took another. They had to ask some 3-4 people and find out that isko kya charge hai. So they did that, and then they also didn't have paper rolls to put inside the machine.
Wow.
The machine had gathered dust. Basically they never used the machine in their life before. So yeah, so it was quite funny. I walked out smiling at the end of it all. I mean, I didn't mind paying $500. That's not a problem, man. But yeah, so as I said, like, the mentality of everybody should change. Like, if I've been around a few places to watch football, and over there everybody has problems with police, but there is a certain level of understanding that if you don't cross a certain line, it's okay. But the moment you cross a line, then you create a problem for us and the state. So that's where you need to step in and clear things out. But if you don't cross a certain line, if you give us like an undertaking that you will not behave the way we don't want you to behave, which is harmful and dangerous for other people in the stadium, we are okay with that.
So that's Blue Pilgrims, ladies and gentlemen, going to jail for singing for India. I think there can't be a better advertisement for a group out here. But so far in Mumbai, how's the situation like? Has there been any problem with the drumsticks and banner?
Not really. It's quite cooperative because what we feel that maybe this is not a AFC game or like a recognized FIFA game, so it hasn't been that difficult. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but just coming to the topic that you brought up, you guys are coming in from different backgrounds. I'm talking about your club. You have a different set of fans. The way you support your team. You can be to one extreme. You can be a little moderate. So how does that gel together? When you come together and chant for your country. I just want to understand, because it might be different opinions. We'll go according to this way. We'll go according to that way. How do you have consensus on that?
Okay, so we do have a set of fans from different European supporters club coming in for example, for Mumbai game, right? So people from Arsenal, like fans from Arsenal who come and support Mumbai City FC, they have something in back of their mind that guy is not my friend, is from Liverpool fan base. So at initial stages we did face a lot of difficulties to bring people together to support one team. But later on, when they start attending games, they got to know each other. Things got sorted out, and there are now few people are now friends from different supporters group, and it is good to see that they will surely come for the national game as well. They won't sit separate from each other. Even Liverpool Mumbai is coming, Manchester United Mumbai is coming, Arsenal Mumbai is coming. So they all will gel together and be united to support the country.
See, I think Liverpool and Manchester United. If East Bengal and Mohun Bagan can get along, I mean, in that sense, anybody in the world can get along anywhere. It's just all I tell people is that what you see on social media is not the truth. To know somebody, to understand, to speak to somebody, you have to talk to somebody face to face. If you don't talk to somebody face to face, you won't know what they mean. On text messages, you can't really get the emotion out. Okay, so you have so many biases, but when you meet somebody face to face, you know, half of your biases just disappear there and there. So that's what it was so pleasant talking to Mohun Bagan fans the other day. I just realized this is the same Bengalis as us. It's we're no different,
which is such a shocking realization to come to, right?
Because generally we, on social media, our perception about Mohun Bagan and their perception about us is very skewed, and we don't really look at Bagan fan, and they don't look at us, although we coexist, but we don't look at them as we would look at other normal people. But
normal people, by the way.
Yeah. So but as long as we interact on a personal level, it changes a lot of things. The same thing with Kerala and Bangalore. Same people. We had people from Kerala Blasters coming and speaking to Bangalore FC fans. And the moment you talk to each other, you clear so many differences instantly within 5 minutes, which would have taken like maybe 5 days on social media to clear out. So that is important. So that is what we try to promote. Like if you have a problem, if you have something which is bothering you, please come and talk to us. Pick up the phone and call. We don't want us to have a fight on social media. We don't want us to have a fight on WhatsApp or Facebook groups. Pick up the phone and call. You have my number. I have your number. You have an issue, call us. We'll sort it out like proper gentlemen and gentlewomen. Yeah.
So, what's the a plan for this tournament and beyond for you guys? Are there like Asian Games or SAF Championship part of the plan?
SAF Championship is a part of the fan. Of the plan. Sorry,
Yeah.
not the fan. I talk only about fans. So but we will require a lot of the guys from Calcutta to step in for that. Because you must realize that India is a very big country. And at the end of the day, it's not like Malaysia or Indonesia where people can just take a bus and go from one end of the country to the other end of the country in 6 hours. You can't do that. But you must realize that people in India, they struggle to work every day. Putting food on the table every day is also important. Okay, not many people are into businesses, especially people who come and watch football. So these are some socio-economic factors which are very different from the rest of the developing footballing nations, I would say, which is similar to us. So the idea is that wherever we go, we have a home base which supports us. A few of us are fortunate, I would say, fortunate enough to travel. Like few of us, I wouldn't say we are happy or able. We are fortunate enough to travel because we are we have the resources or something like that, because we are fortunate because of that, and a lot of people are not. Okay, so whoever can travel will travel, and whoever can't has to be there from the city where we are playing or nearby areas. Okay, so we wherever we go and tell them that it's okay if you can't travel. It's no problem. Like if you tell me that I have no money, or I can't travel because I have to work, I have time issues and stuff like that. it's okay. No problem. You have to be there in the spirit. There are people working from Calcutta for Blue Pilgrims. There are people working from Bangalore in Blue Pilgrims. There were people working from Chennai who are making banners in different parts of the country and shipping it to us. Okay, they're making chants in different parts of the country and sending it to us. So they are there in spirit. That is what being in spirit is. Some people say that, recently somebody put up a post saying that we're having screenings. Okay, if you can't go to the stadium, be there in spirit with us at my screening live. That's not what being in spirit is. Being in spirit is contributing. We have people from Kerala who are saying that, we can't make it, but we will help you with graphic design. We will help you with social media. Okay, we will help you with banners. We'll help you with this. That is the least we can do. Those are the kind of conversations which I'm looking at. Those are the kind of conversations which make you more inspired. Like they give you the motivation to carry on. So that's what actually being in spirit is. Not having a live screening, or not having a couple of beers and watching football. It's not live. That's not being in spirit, man.
One like equals to one Viking thunderclap. Like you see some Facebook pages. promoting Indian football. But Kevin, just coming back to what's immediately at hand, the tournament, right? Kenya, New Zealand both look, even though it's not their best team, they look strong. Is there a chance that we get a fourth game to cheer for India?
Definitely. I think tonight will prove it, and probably a draw also is good enough, is what I feel, because we are here not just for the tournament. We are here to get the team together and try out those new players that we want to get back into the core. I think the core has shaken a bit for India in the past couple of months. We talk about Lindo's injury; it's really hurting the midfield, and even the front line. I think JJ and Sunil really make up that perfect combination. But you really want to try out someone else, as we talking about. It's there for us to understand for reality that what is post the Asian Cup. No, it's there. The team is already set for that. What's up beyond that? So this is the time. This is the tournament that makes us work for understanding who are the next set of players who can possibly fill in for other players. And we're talking about goal scoring. Sunil Chhetri is there. We're talking about defense. There's Anas. There is Chingan. But you also need that midfield, which has been a bit absent, and that's what is hurting us the most. You need to bridge that gap between your defense and that hole in the middle. We saw how Kyrgyz could hurt us when we played at home in Bangalore, and the same problem hurt us back even when we played away. We did get in that goal, but was it enough? It wasn't. And This is the tournament where we find more about ourselves, where we get in those players from the next generation into the team, and probably I won't say we are heading in the right direction, but I think we've taken steps towards it.
So you guys, you said you already have plans to commemorate Sunil Chhetri's 100th game. How does the planning take place? It's like you are going to observe every milestone, or is there going to be a different plan for every game, a themed performance, so to speak?
So we're not doing. We don't know what we're doing next. That's the problem. Like everything is last minute. So there's still, hopefully things get pulled off by 3 p.m. Right? We have certain deliveries to be done by 3 p.m. and we hope the manufacturers don't f us over. But yeah, that's what the thing is, that everything is last minute because everybody gets together in the last minute anyways. This is the India game. We don't really have a certain base. Funnily enough, we have to pay in different parts of the country for different tournaments, and it's not like Malaysia where you have Bukit Jalil, or it's not like Indonesia where you have Bung Karno. Okay, there's one particular stadium where the national team plays. So I mean, we are planning to do something special today, okay, and hopefully something else will be planned for day after, the next game, and not just for Sunil but for some other players as well, because everybody's equally important, man. I mean, so for them as well, and hopefully we can reach the finals. I mean, some of our members are optimistic, and I am a very pessimistic guy because
East Bengal fan.
Yes.
East Bengal, West Bromwich Albion. So my life around football has never been that beautiful. Anyways, so yeah, so hopefully we can make it. If we can make it, we will do something grand for the final. That's for sure. Yeah.
So for those who want to be there in spirit, where can they find you on social media?
So they can find us on Instagram, on Facebook. I think Facebook is Indian Blue Pilgrims India, or India Blue Pilgrims, because we couldn't find the tag wasn't available. For Instagram and Facebook, for Instagram and Twitter, it's Blue Pilgrims. Yeah.
So everybody get following Blue Pilgrims. One follow is one cheer for India.
I mean, also we need I mean, we don't really ask people for money, but what we do is we try to sell our merchandise, so that we can raise funds, because we believe that asking is not the right way to fund any movement. You have to always give something back, and also that makes people happy because they feel that they are part of the movement. and also that generates funds for us to create all these banners and buy these drums and tifos and stuff like that. Every day, we already spend close to around 40,000, 50,000.
More than that,
yeah, 40,000-50,000 for all this, just for the props. I mean, this is just for the Indian national team flags, banners and stuff like that. So it's expensive, man. It's expensive, and we are trying to fund this. Right now we are paying as much as we can from our own pockets, and somebody is contributing. But that's not sustainable going forward. So we have to have our own merchandise and stuff like that, which you can sell and raise funds, and not only raise funds for the movement, but also help out people who who really work for the movement, who really want to work for the movement, really part of the movement, but can't afford to travel. Even if we can pay some of their, I mean, not the entire thing, but some of it, that inspires them to work harder and pay for their own next time.
So the merchandises are available to buy from where?
Right now we are selling offline. We are taking orders and we are going to deliver it personally or by post.
Yeah, so you guys can check the t-shirt and sticker designs out online. Those are really great. I got some and I'm going to be sticking it all over my laptop and backpacks everywhere. Kevin, last word from you. What's the scoreline prediction tonight?
It was tough. I'm telling you, Kenya is not going to give us any easy time today, and but I don't know. We are feeling it for India. We're feeling it for every player that is going to be playing tonight, and I think that itself is pushing us to understand that there will be goals, but there will be some conceded as well. So 2-1 is what I feel for India.
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't do predictions, man. I always go wrong. So
you?
Superstitious.
I just
football.
want to see Chhetri score a free kick goal. That's it.
Why a free kick goal?
Because he's a master of it.
Oh yeah, he is. So let's hope he gives us.
What are your predictions?
Yeah. I don't do predictions either, man.
Yeah.
Especially the games that I'm a bit jittery. No. Any team that I care about.
It's the same.
National club and national team. So of course,
there's only one nation with one team. There's no national club. Anyways, come on, carry on.
Yeah. So here's so hopefully we can make the 100th game interesting and memorable for Sunil Chhetri tonight. Hopefully he also makes it memorable for us, and hopefully you guys get to see at least some of the game as you keep doing the Poznan and all that stuff. I really think like General Stand 4 and 5 should have a big mirror in the back.
If you have some big screens, that'll be enough.
Yeah, no, just a mirror so that you can watch the game while you're doing the Poznan. Right? So I think AIFF should consider that. Take note. So yeah. Thanks for listening to us. Come back to us next week. You can follow us on @TFG Football for all the live updates of the match tonight and all the other games on Intercontinental Cup and beyond. The Fan Garage is also where you can find the updates. Thefangarage.com, where you can find all the articles and editorials and everything. Kevin just wrote a nice piece about why we should not be over the moon about beating Chinese Taipei Kid Edition, and you can go ahead and read that. Other stuff is out there as well: fantasy football, fantasy cricket, everything else. And you can listen to this on any podcasting platform that you like: Stitcher, iTunes. You can listen to this on IVM Podcasts app, where you can find this and other top-rated Indian podcasts. You can also listen to this on ivmpodcast.com. So do give IVM Podcasts a follow on Twitter as well if you like listening to podcasts and want to stay updated on the local scene. Thanks for listening to us. Come back to us next week. Bye.
There she stands, a podcast addict. Outside the bank, having travelled several miles to get in with other poor souls like her. The journey, though daunting for this youngling, will have some comfort because she has downloaded her favorite podcast. You can see more of her species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.